I'm back. Once again, taking that as a sign to move on. I'm moving on. So, our ops see the remarkable transition that they have put into play. And I'm so grateful. And not only am I forgiving to that fact, but I'm also grateful. I'm really um really excited because my boundaries are something that wouldn't be in wouldn't be in as high regard for me if had not I went through so much from not having them in place. My relationship with God would not be so intimate and near and dear to me, because at first it was just I've sought him for help in my spiritual warfare. But as I got closer to him and then went back and saw that his presence wasn't was fleeting from me, the further I got away from him, um, the closer I got to that situation, the more I understood that it was him that I've been needing all this time. It was him that made me feel fulfilled and feel excited about life. It was him that knows how to love me the best and show me how to love myself the best. Is communicating with him regularly that helps me to see all of the um, pathways to my dreams and my goals, to have dreams and goals, to not be delayed in my mentality because I'm going through a relationship dilemma. And I'm so focused on that and what I can do to make things better for us and how I can please him and make him excited about coming to see me and all that. After it was him who started with thank, thank God vibes, as he said. He felt like, you know, uh, so overwhelmed being around me because he couldn't believe he had got me and all this. He went from that to me having the fan vibes. I don't know how I made that switch, but it did, and it didn't take very long. And you know what? It takes you going through some things in order for you to realize some things like how far you would be willing to hurt yourself through going. When I say hurt yourself, I mean hurt yourself, delay yourself by pursuing someone who's not pursuing you back. And you realize that there is, welcome in, there is a such thing as people who um, operate in love spills and stuff like that. Because I tell y'all what, when I had got over that situation, when I really moved on and I really found out and start finding out different things, y'all, and I look back at the person, I was like, why did they look so different to me when I was seeing them? They look so different to me. I was sort of looking at he was an older guy. So I was sort of looking at him like mafia type guy, whatever, very dominating and very like, like that. But then after, not to put him down because he is a handsome guy and everything, but he looked different to me. Maybe because I'm more of an inside person than an outside person. I'm really a type of person who, everybody have their preferences, but I'm more of a type of person who would prefer that to have a man that is caring for me and have their head on right and not trying to use me, is a good person, treat people right and all that stuff. That's what things that mean the most to me. But when I'm attracted to somebody after I'm feeling them, and it makes me more attracted to them because I'm feeling them or whatever, then it puts me in the mind of, you know how when you get your love glasses on and they sort of, they're like shades. And they like, the worse the situation get, the darker the lens. They're like, I can't, girl, you can't see that he using me. I can't. I really can't. Take those shades off, girl. They're like, no, I don't see that. How you wind up in a triangulation? I thought that he said that she was the problem. Well, it's not his fault. Of course not. But they have made you see how far someone can take you past where you were willing to go. And because of that, they help you to um, understand where the breaking point is for yourself, for your boundaries. Like, okay, well, if I see this, and I'm for fighting for relationships. I don't think that because you had a bad experiences, but after you do the work, I believe still that if you're in love and it looks like it's mutual love, that you're gonna go through things. You're gonna go through things. You can't never say you don't want to love again, deny yourself that because you're going to be hurt. Because just to learn a person, everything's not going to be all gravy because you're going to have different interests. Sometimes they're going to want to walk away. Sometimes you're going to want to walk away. Sometimes you're going to both decide that, you know what, I really like you. I think it's worth the investment, the time. And, you know, but before you can go back to that, you have to get over all the forgiving the other person. You got to forgive yourself. You got to make a clean slate. You got to know yourself and know how it feels to be alone for some time, so you don't feel like you need anybody in life, so that whenever, if ever, God decides to bless you with somebody else, then it's not because you need it. It's because it compliments you and you compliment them. You know, like, you don't need that tie with that suit. You just don't. But when you put it on and just sort of fix it up and look like, but it looks good, it sort of tops it off though. You don't need to wear makeup. You don't have to wear makeup. And you don't have no makeup on. But you put a red lip on and be like, it sort of does top it off. It makes it look more like, hey, I'm going somewhere. So yeah, I like it. You have dreads. You don't need to wear no wig. You don't have to wear no wig, but like, that's a nice protective style. I really like it. I like it a lot. Hey, I I'm doing my thing. I can change my look when I'm ready to change my look. And hey, not that you need it, but that, hey, God has blessed you with it. It feels good. It and you're not desperate, so um, you know what you will accept. You're not in a hurry. You're not gonna let nobody rush you this time. Cause what's the hurry? Let's take our time, get to know each other, and feast off each other's uh intellect and have conversations. Let me see if you can conversate. And or if it's just all about the bedroom, ain't nothing wrong with the bedroom. The bedroom is a beautiful thing. But um I'm celibate, but still it is a beautiful thing. But it's a beautiful thing when it's that time. But so that you can get the meat with the vegetables when you eat your food. You're not just sitting there eating dessert or just sitting there eating vegetables. You want some meat too. Like, let's see where your mind is at. Can we have a conversation? I talk about young guys a lot. But some young guys can outdo some older men in having a good, deep conversation. And that's sometimes, where, you just don't know how God is going to do things in your life. And so that's where you don't cut off a door, cut off a bridge just because you don't see why. But you just don't have your door wide open. You just have it open for God, just to hear him, what he wants for your life. And had not it been for them, then you would have kept going on and on and on. And then you know what? It comes a time where they just stop even breadcrumbing you. And you just like, hey, I may as well be alone. God be like, don't you see that this person is doing this? And why are you letting them talk to you like that? Be like, well, not your mate or whatever. Let's say your aunt or something, or your cousin or something. They're like, you don't have to deal with that. I told you, you know what, to separate yourself. I did. I separated myself. I don't really go over there. Yeah, but you talk to them on the phone every day. And so they're able to, you know, throw little fiery darts, let your guard all down. You need those boundaries for everybody, not just for a romantic relationship, girl. And when you decide, you know what, I am ready to climb some stairs. I'm not ready to stay in this stuck elevator. I am not ready to stay in this closet. I'm ready to start moving on up and accomplishing small wins to get to the big wins. And in the meantime, be being productive. And even though, my lifestyle is very sort of isolationist, I love people. And this is where I can be most effective without hurting my own self. And so, to be of a help, to be of a service, because that's what God said, told me to do. So that's how I know it, because that's what God told me to do. And um, in the meantime, you're finding yourself. When you find yourself, you're loving yourself. You're glowing, whether somebody says it or not. You ain't gotta have nobody say it. You can look in the mirror and see it yourself. You ain't got blinders on no more. You ain't got no fog going on in your head no more. You ain't got nobody in your ear making you feel less than no more. You ain't got nobody making you questioning your own um instincts and your own discernment. And you can, everything that you hear from God, you ain't got to be like, well, did I kind of I think I heard it. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I had a dream, but it was, I don't think it's the dream that it's probably I had that dream because I saw this on TV. I I don't know if they thinking about me because they just popped up in my head. I don't know, but I think I'm just thinking about them, even though I ain't seen them in 10 years, because this is that. You don't trust nothing you think. You don't trust none of your alerts that God is trying to give you. You don't trust none of your downloads that God is trying to give you, because somebody's in your ear making you feel like uh you throwing your um radar off, putting fog in your head so that your radar isn't as instinctive. But then when you learn how to love yourself and trust yourself, you don't want nothing from nobody. You didn't come to take. You are a faucet. You're not a drain. You came to give, not to take. And in giving, you can't beat God giving. But in giving, there is usually some feedback and some uh, desire to hear and some carrying on or whatever. But if you don't get it the way you think you want it or should get it, God always give it to you how He see fit. And a lot of times, those things that He give you help to build you up where you don't need it the way you saw fit. You might want something a certain way, but because of how God shows up, you you really get off of what you was thinking, and you get on what He was thinking. Just like, your child can want a certain kind of game to go with his game system, and you ask at the game store. I've used this example before, and then the person who's at the game store be like, "This just came out. Nobody knows about it yet. They don't have ads out about it yet, um, and they don't have it on no apps. You got to get the actual game, and it just came out. It's better than that, and it hasn't even it hasn't really been released yet, but it'll release at 12 tonight or whatever, and it costs $150 or whatever. And so you one of the first people to get it. And so much so that the game the child wanted, they don't even play with that. They just play with the one that you got. They got both, but they only play with the one that you got. See, God knows stuff that you don't know about you, about stuff that He have in the world, stuff you haven't been exposed to yet, people you haven't been exposed to yet, people that's not within your reach, in your would be usually on in your reach, that would just so happen to come across you and be like, you just don't know what God is working up in His um great big universe, and He's the one who has all access to everything, and He's the one, like when He say, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added." And when you're seeking the kingdom of heaven, and not because, yes, God, I'm in jail, I'm seeking you now. I'm seeking. I want you, please, now. And be like, he'll be there. But when you seeking for the right reasons, when it's like, I need more of you, I need more of your kind of love. I'm not used to this kind of love. And I like our relationship, God. I don't want to lose it. I want you in my life. I want you to show me how to do things. I don't want to do them my way no more. I want you to lead me and guide me. I've been making a mess of my life, and I want you to take over. Please, please, I love you. I need you. Then it's like, okay, here we go. Be like, okay, and then every time you be like, but God, I'll wait till your time. Be like, God, I don't want to. Be like, you going to? Okay. I gotta do that today. Yep. Okay. For my better good. That's why. And you come up against psychological warfare, and you don't have to be you don't have to be a professional to know that someone have a certain tone they speak to you in when they are trying to get this out of you. There's a certain tone they speak to you in when they they know that they have hurt your feelings or went too far. They sound sick on the phone when they don't want to do something. So they call you and be like, hey. So you can say what's wrong, and then they can tell you what's wrong, and then you can deny yourself so that they can feel better. And that's, you know, all these things that happen as time has gone on. And it's just like they know all the games, spiritual, psychological. But you know what's so beautiful is when you get free, is you can start learning what affected you and why, and things that you wouldn't have had otherwise have known. You learn, and no one's able to use that against you. And you can even put your children up on it. You could tell your children certain things. So my ex was telling my son about how, if something happens and do this or do that, as far as fighting back or whatever. But if it's not in your heart a certain kind of way, and you try to fight back and you not really like that, somebody say something smart and you just, okay, somebody say something like that, be like, the F? Just be like, who you think you is? The F? And then they're really a fighter. So they haul off and hit you. But you not really like that. You was just saying that because that's what you was told to say. So where it's got to be in you. You can't make somebody something that you want them to be. It's got to be in you. And sometimes what's in you is better than what the other person know to be the solution. Sometimes God is dwelling over that person, and it don't take them. They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is just do what they would usually do, and God would handle it. And the thing about when God handles something, when you fighting for your marriage and you let God handle it, he can go inside the person's mind, inside the person's heart. He can go in and touch them in ways you could never touch them. He could use examples you could never use. You have used every word that you have ever uh, learned in your marriage. You know every way you talk. She know every way you talk. But when God steps in and you go to him for your marriage, like, I don't want to lose us. I don't want to lose our family. But there's something very gone here and they're not willing to work for it. And I need you, Lord, I need you to help us here. And when he get on it, oh boy, that brother be having dreams. That brother be having all kind of uh women cross his path, that path that is shown to him, that what he got at home, what she got at home. That person that was showing so much interest, making her feel high and mighty, they doing the same thing as somebody else. Come to find out, oh, man. And that person that's that work husband or whatever, she catch him with somebody out for lunch, and then she know how to straighten up or whatever is coming in her, and they mind to pump them up. I just lost some weight. Ever since he lost weight, he got him that drop top convertible, and now he trying to treat me like, now he want to go get him a uh Harley Davidson, and he know we need a new roof. Lord, I need you to please talk to him. He having a midlife crisis or something. We've been married 20 years. I don't want to end this marriage. All right. Okay, here we go. God got it. Because he can get all in the person's views, all in the person, all in the I'm about to say newspaper. People don't read newspaper no more. All in the phone, all in the notification. I don't either. I just not. I was just. I don't know why I said newspaper, guys. Forgive me. And he can show examples. So I had told this person they was flirting with my ex, and they would go and to where he worked, and they would wear these tight pants. And I was like, you you don't need to wear tight pants because you know it's stretch pants. How can I say this? It wasn't flattering. And so I was telling them because of that, but since they felt guilty because they knew that they was up there all up under my ex, even though I told them I think my ex was trying to poison me, up there all up under my ex or whatever. And then they got defensive, like, I don't care what people think. I'm like, well, you should care what people think because God said, not let not your good be evil spoken of. And if you wear tight pants like up there and you're in a man's face, especially my ex's face, then you should care. And I tried to say it in the best way I can because I wasn't trying to hurt their feelings, even though they were trying to hurt mine. But it wasn't flattering. They're a much older person and they're, it just wasn't flattering. And so then the person saw somebody that it didn't look flattering on. And they all automatically said they thought about me. And their words was that the person had a lot of cellulite. You could see all their cellulite on their legs or whatever. That's what their words was. And she was like, first thing I thought of was you when you told me I shouldn't be wearing those pants. Like I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was trying to be honest with you. And it's just like the they have to come back some kind of way or you will see it some kind of way. The last time I saw one person after I stopped talking to them and I saw them again, they really looked different. Really looked different. And even somebody else said it. And I had to see them. And it's just like they help you to get over them. And you be by the time you forgive them and move on, you be praying that they good and they don't come back. You be praying that they ain't, they not seeking you. You don't care. But just so happen you be getting better than you ever was. Because it's not until you lose something that you know how to appreciate it. I almost lost my life. I almost lost my son. If it was up to anybody, I would have been extradited back to Detroit for some traffic tickets. They actually called to Detroit because I told them I had a lot of parking tickets. I mean, not parking tickets, traffic tickets, and that my license was suspended. So they actually called to Detroit when they found out my social security number and stuff to find out how much I owe. I said I owed a lot, but a lot to me is $1,200. But they called trying to get me extradited back to Detroit. May he rest in peace. But he tried to get me all the way in Augusta. Why? Because I didn't want to leave. Oh, well, anyway. But it don't matter. Anyway, they make you better. And after you get better, it's hard to be bitter. After you forgive, it's hard to be bitter. After you get to past a certain point, it's just like, I'm not going to deny myself love again. I'm not going to deny myself trusting again. I'm not going to deny if God put somebody in our lives, you know, I'm not going to deny because you love yourself. You know that God got your future plan for you, whether it don't be nobody else in my life. And my future is just dedicated to this, going further with people, even uh, meeting with people or whatever he has for my future. But I know it's going to have something to do with, um, I don't know, though. Let me just say whatever he say. I don't know nothing. I'm just grateful for him wanting to use me and using me. The head nod means good morning. Now, I changed the title of this one because I had got cut off from my first one. And I actually went into a different lane with this one because I noticed with the same title from yesterday when they cut me off that people felt like they saw it already. So I had to change the title and put part one, part two. And then it's just like once you see one part, it's just like you ain't really. So I just changed the title and went in a different direction on the same topic, but basically um, given a little bit different perspective. And the good thing also is when you get something in your soul and nobody tells you about it, and you can teach it and tell people of it, you can find so many different ways. The Holy Spirit has so many different ways to pull on you from life experience, from movies, from songs. He got so many different ways for you to come across and tell different things, different topics, because it's inside of you so deep. You have ate these lessons. They have went through your digestive system. They have went through your bloodstream. They are part of you. Be like, I appreciate what I've been through because they made me who I am. I could have kept, they could have kept some of those lessons, but I am grateful for who I am. So I guess it would take all the lessons. So now that is winding up a little bit after 9. I started at about 8:02 on my first one. I'm going to go ahead and bid you guys a good day and be the best you could be. And I smell the weekend, guys. Are y'all ready? Let's get ready for the weekend. And y'all have a great day. I love you. With love of